You may need the snow melt this weekend as our meteorologists are looking ahead to a couple of first alert weather days. We're going to detail what you need to know before you go this weekend.
Coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, I'm speaking with some local businesses in the Fargo-Moorhead area as they're participating in this nationwide shutdown as they are standing up against ice.
Then, monster trucks are making a return to Fargo and the Fargo Dome. You get to hear from one of the truck drivers coming up on Valley News Now. It is live. And thank you, everyone, for joining us here on your Valley News Now update. Duke Schindler joining you here on this beautiful Friday as we get out of the cold a little bit and warmer temperatures are ahead. Something to be excited about. Now, we're going to start things off in Wadena as a man and his dog are dead after a structure fire in Otter Tail County. That happened just yesterday, actually. We'll pull up the video here. This is what you're taking a look at. The fire happening just after 7:30 yesterday evening west of Wadena. When crews arrived, they did find a 73-year-old man unresponsive inside of the home. He was later taken to the hospital and died from his injuries. Officials also found the family's dog dead inside of the home too. The home is deemed a total loss and the cause does remain under investigation. Then the director of the Lake Region Law Enforcement Center is speaking for the first time since inmate Brian Saylor was found dead in the facility earlier this week. We'll pull up the statement here, as you can see right here. In his statement provided Thursday, Star Clement Sarud said, quote, "This is a deeply tragic situation. Our thoughts are with the individual's family. The death remains under investigation in accordance with policy, and we are reviewing all procedures related to inmate welfare," end quote. We also spoke exclusively with the inmate's ex-wife on Wednesday, and you can catch that story right now on valleynewslive.com if you so please. We'll bring things back here as it's going to be an exciting weekend here in Fargo, especially at the Fargo Dome. Get ready for an action-packed weekend as Monster Jam is returning to the area. That's right, this Sunday. Now, if you've been waiting to get up close to your favorite 12,000-pound Monster Jam trucks, then you're in luck because it'll be here all weekend Saturday at the Fargo Dome as well as Sunday. And there will be some sort of, there will be a bunch of well-known trucks.
I grew up watching Monster Jam as a kid. I went to my very first show when I was 6 years old, Anaheim, California to be exact, and just kind of seeing these trucks up for my very first time, just seeing the stuff they were doing, the noise, the connections the fans had with the drivers. I fell in love with all of that, and it's kind of been like the childhood dream to become a driver. And fast forward to 2016, I was fortunate enough to meet somebody in the industry and kind of got through audition through him and started competing in 2017. And this is my 9th year with Monster Jam, and this year we're actually celebrating 25 years of El Toro Loco, so it's a big win for me.
Gotta love that. And you also saw a gravedigger peeling his way through the area here. Now, for this upcoming monster truck rally, you may want to know, well, what's the weather going to look like if you have to drive even a longer distance? Well, we got meteorologist and First Alert Storm Team Summer Schnellbach to give us those answers.
I'm meteorologist Summer Schnellbach, nice and cozy here in the warm studio once again. On another cold day, temperatures are once again in the single digits either side of zero, and we once again have a cold weather advisory in effect for parts of the region tonight into tomorrow morning. This time it's confined to the northern valley, wind chills 30 to 35 degrees below zero. A south wind kicks in overnight. Temperatures tomorrow will still be cold in the morning, but we warm into the teens as a warm front moves in. That same warm front is going to bring snow and blustery winds out of the south. We could see gusts over 40 miles per hour, and with snow, we're looking at those blowing snow concerns. So there is a winter weather advisory in effect from noon tomorrow until noon Sunday to account for a general 1 to 4 inches of snow, blustery winds, and that blowing snow concern. We warm up Saturday night into Sunday, but then a cold front quickly follows and temperatures fall into the afternoon hours of Sunday. Another follow-up cold front on Monday brings temperatures back down into the teens for the afternoon hours. Then, looking forward, temperatures much more mild in the 20s and low 30s. A couple clippers next week. We've got those details coming up on Valley News Live.
Boy, you just really love to see potential 20s and even potential 30s in that forecast here. Now, you might not be able to visit your favorite shop today because several businesses, they're participating in a nationwide economic blackout. Our reporter Anna Ballweber was out in the field talking to some businesses here today, and she's joined by our Jessica Bringy.
Duke, it's a major event today, an economic blackout. It's part of a nationwide ICE protest. Local businesses both in West Fargo, and Moorhead all taking part. Anna, you've been keeping an eye on a running list. It just keeps growing of how many businesses are deciding to join in.
Yeah, that's right. I know we made a web article last night trying to keep track of all the businesses that were either closing or they were going to change their operations somehow. And I lost track of it.
Yeah.
There's so many. I think I was at like 40 right now, maybe 50. I kind of spent a lot of my time downtown this morning because that's where a majority of the businesses were. Some of them, they weren't able to close, they're smaller businesses, but they told me they still wanted to do whatever they could. So they weren't able to close. A portion of their profits are going to go towards organizations in Minnesota that help. They support civil rights and things like that. So it's pretty interesting.
I know one business we were chatting about yesterday who had preemptively announced its closure was offering free soup, but taking free will donations. So kind of another way to get people in the door, but still contribute to the cause.
Yeah, there was a Moonrise Cafe downtown. They weren't able to close, but when I walked up, they had a big old sign that said "Ice Out," and they were giving all of their stuff away for free. And I was shocked. It said, while supplies last, but it was packed in there, and they actually weren't even able to do an interview because it was so busy. So it was very interesting to see. But when I walked out the door, she said, we would like to close, we would like to protest, and this is kind of our way of doing it.
And as you're hearing from businesses, what are they telling you about the reason behind the decision?
Yeah, a lot of them were affected by specifically the Minneapolis killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. They said that one, hit close to home because it's, right there. Some of them had family there. So it was unglued in Bruhala, actually. They were making signs, protest signs. I know there's a protest coming up this Sunday starting at the courthouse. So they're already planning stuff for this weekend too.
Wow. Okay. Coming up tonight at 6, we will be hearing much more, as well as from some of the business owners themselves.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Anna.
Then we'll bring it back for our last story here before we get to a little bit of road conditions. Thank you very much, Anna, by the way. Now we can head over to a case that's been circling the area for quite some time. Ciandre Douglas waived his preliminary hearing today. So what does that mean for the case itself? Well, we got Valley News Live's Bobby Fallett here to let us know exactly what's going to be happening. Bobby.
Yeah, Duke, that's right. In court today, he physically wasn't there, but the man charged in an August 3rd, 2025 shooting, Ciandre Douglas, pleading not guilty to all 12 charges stemming over 3 violent incidents that date from July 6th all the way to August 3rd. Now, what we do know is that Ciandre, again, pleading not guilty was in connection to that August 3rd shooting in the death of 20-year-old Elijah Hughes. Prosecutors saying that the killing was retaliation in an escalating gang conflict between 2 groups. Now, at this time, a trial date has not been set. The next time Ciandre will be in court will be about February 5th or 6th. The Valley News Live will be in the courtroom for that day.
And thank you very much for that, Bobby. Now, before we let you go here, let me check the time. Oh, yeah, we got some time. Check out a little bit of road conditions here. Now, we are expecting some snow like Summer said coming up here, but we want to make sure that if you're on the road today, you're getting home okay. All right, let's bring this up here. Thankfully, my job's easy today. Usually when I'm doing these road conditions, it is much, much worse, I should say, to put it lightly. But right now you can see it looks good in the Fargo area and just all over North Dakota. That's going to be changing pretty soon as we approach the weekend. If you heard Summer there mention 2, 3, 4 inches in maybe some places. But road conditions not looking too bad for your trek home. Moving on over to Minnesota. A little bit of the same thing, and I should say all of the same thing. Roads looking pretty fine, or at least very seasonal. Maybe some icy patches out there. But all in all, not too bad. So thank you very much for joining us here on your Valley News Now update. For Duke Schindler, we'll catch you later.